way live from AfricaTown, Seattle, here in Houston, checking in with visitblackhouston.com. Having a great time here in Houston. We're doing our AfricaTown Hidden Treasures on tour, where we go and dig up and discover, you know, the many facets and beauty and brilliance of the Black experience, you know, in the journey. And so we've been here in Houston finding out about that journey, and it's good to connect with visitblackseattle.com, what we're doing in Seattle with AfricaTown Community Development Initiative. It's an asset-based community development initiative based on our riches and our strengths, not our deficits of our communities, to maintain and further develop the Central District of Seattle, Central District neighborhood, which has been the historic Black neighborhood for over 130 years for Black people of African descent in Seattle and the Pacific Northwest. And so similar to like the 3rd Ward, 4th Ward, and 5th Ward, what I've been able to visit while here in Houston, there's also gentrification and displacement happening in the city. And so we looked at how do we present our positive narrative about who we are, about all the contributions that we brought to that particular city, community, and this America and the world, right? And how we build our community using our greatness and our past, you know, high points as a reference point. What I mean by that is saying, you know, we're maintaining and developing space for the beauty, the brilliance, and the best of the Black experience and the African diaspora in that area to continue to be able to grow and flourish, to add value to that community, to that city, Seattle, and to the world. And so historically, some of the people that have become world renowned from Seattle are people such as Quincy Jones, Jimi Hendrix, Ray Charles started there. And when we look at how do we build our communities in the future, we got to look at what is the inspiration from our own experience, meaning if we're going to have an educational system that can be inspired by the educational systems that was already established in Egypt or Kemet, Timbuktu, Bethune-Cookman, historically Black colleges. We already have, you know, examples of excellence within our own experience, and we use that as reference points to build our future community. When we think about everywhere we are, how do we set up a community that's based on, you know, the best of the Black experience here in Houston? What's a piece of that look like in the Central District, AfricaTown, Seattle, the Harlem Renaissance, Motown, the Black Wall Streets in Tulsa, Durham, Rosewood. When we look at bringing, you know, inspiration from Marcus Garvey in Jamaica, from our Afro-Brazilian experience, you know, that looks like a very rich community that a lot of people can come and benefit and grow from. So that's the concept that we are building in Seattle with the AfricaTown. And some of the work that we're doing, we have $50 million in real estate development projects to maintain affordable housing and places for businesses and cultural and community-based organizations to actually have space that's affordable so they would not be displaced out of the community. We have a portfolio of events, a very large summer festival, UmojaFest. We have a co-working and incubator space called Black Dot. We have a youth AfricaTown Center for Education and Innovation. So we have it's a comprehensive community development strategy to imagine what is the Black community going to be in the 21st and 22nd centuries, you know, outside of Africa. So everywhere outside of China, where you have a community of Chinese people, is acknowledged as Chinatown, giving a bridge back to their, you know, to their motherland. You know, we have New England, New Hampshire, New York, New Amsterdam, you know, New Orleans. All of these link back to people who came from somewhere else, and creates a bridge to the place where they came from and keeps them connected with those legacies. And so AfricaTown is basically just bringing that forward for our community. And the original AfricaTown was actually established in the late 1850s outside of Mobile, Alabama, where a ship of kidnapped Africans, which were discovered to be illegally smuggled into this country after slavery and the kidnapping of Africans was made illegal according to the laws of this country, and they were not able to go back home. So the community that they settled was called AfricaTown. You know, and if you look at many of the early institutions that our people established, and the AME Church first, the African Methodist Episcopal, many of the fraternal and organizations that were established did actually acknowledge that connection back to Africa. And this was really made clear to me when I visited the African American Museum in Washington, D.C. on the Mall. And it really just showed, again, our people have always been about building the things that they need to sustain in terms of communities, or that adage, it takes a village to raise a child, or to raise a business, or to raise and sustain an adult. So, they say it takes a village. Our village is AfricaTown in Seattle.
How long have y'all been doing AfricaTown?
So, I think the AfricaTown initiative is really an extension of what has been laid down by Marcus Garvey and many others over the last 5 or 6 years. The specific initiative in Seattle with that branding has really taken root. We have the mayor and city council and many other stakeholders, community institutions and organizations have come on board seeing this as a positive vision for our community. As they say, where there is no vision, the people perish. And what we realized is that there hadn't been a vision that was being passed on to our generation in terms of what our community should be into the future. And so we took the time to sit and shape and gather ideas from our community about what they want to see and what we need to sustain and be our best selves. Within the last 5 to 6 years, the work has really begun to emerge strongly under the AfricaTown brand, but the work has been going on for many years in terms of establishing institutions and working to build a sustainable Black or African descent community. We have many partnerships that have been developing and continue to be established because, again, we know that our strength is in our unity, right? And so we work and collaborate and partner with many organizations in the community, other African diaspora communities. We have a very large East African community in the Seattle area, Ethiopian, Eritrean, Somalian. We also have an emerging West African community, and so we seek to connect with all of those communities and support their work. AfricaTownSeattle.com is a website. It's really like a concierge if you want to find Black businesses, events, and experiences in Seattle. If you're coming there, Facebook is where you will keep up with a regular pace of events and activities within the AfricaTown ecosystem in the Seattle area. So those are the two primary. But we also, so AfricaTown Central District on Facebook, on Instagram, Twitter, AfricaTown SEA, and then the website is AfricaTownSeattle.com. We want to appreciate what you're doing here, and just speaking to the idea around partnerships. We're actually looking to partner not just within the city and our region, but with other people that are taking on this same work around, a lot of people within the spirit of building Black Wall Street. So the first place that Black Wall Streets have to be rebuilt is right here within our own minds, and then we begin to express that into our environments and world. So we want to connect with others that are already on that wave, on that frequency, and putting in the work to make it happen. So again, connecting with visit blackhouston.com is very positive for us, and we'll continue to connect with other cities and internationally. We have done entrepreneur hackathons and pitch events with entrepreneurs and innovators from actually across the globe, from Haiti, from Ethiopia, from Liberia. We brought them in to pitch and receive support and resources for their innovative and entrepreneurial ideas within the diaspora, as well as within the country, from Michigan to Atlanta. So we want to continue to build on that work and network and make the network.